So, I've held off for a little bit recording this, not because I'm lazy or that I'm too busy, even though I'm both of those. Um, I've had to not process how, not process how I feel about the entire thing, but let my feelings sink in about what I did working at Disney. So this may seem like I'm overreacting about the entire experience working there. But for me, it was a huge life change. It was a life changing experience. I had a meeting with a professor today, and they were asking how it was, and I flat out told her, I'm like, it was life changing. And for some people, it's just a different job for them, but for me, I went to school 45 minutes away from the town I grew up. I saw my family every week, mostly. I still kept in touch with a lot of my high school friends, and this was the first time that I had been, one, outside of my comfort zone, and two, being off on my own. I had my girlfriend there with me, but we were on opposite schedules. She would work 6 in the morning to 1, 2, or 3 in the afternoon. I would work 3 in the afternoon until 9, 10, 11, sometimes 12 or 1 a.m. So even though she was with me and we lived 3 buildings away from each other, I didn't see her as much as I expected to. But a lot of people that I've talked to ask 2 questions. 1, how was it? And 2, why? So I'll start with the why. I had just graduated college with a degree that I did not expect to have when I graduated college, but it's a degree, and a degree is a degree. And yeah, with the pandemic still pretty bad in Wisconsin, there wasn't much I could do with my degree. And going to Disney a few months before graduating, basically for the first time in my life, I decided Disney's pretty cool, and my girlfriend and I were like, it would be awesome if we could work at Disney. And so we applied for the college internship, and we were like, let's do it. And then we did it. We got accepted, and we went. And I'm like, what do I got to lose? I'm in my 20s. I don't have a full-time job, a real job. I got nothing to lose. Let's just go have fun. Maybe I'll make something out of it. Definitely made something out of it, not job-wise or career-wise, but memory-wise and experience-wise. And my personality changed a lot. Not I started doing drugs or anything like that. No. Before I went, I was pretty shy. Even going through student teaching, I was a shy person. I did not like confrontation. I did not like being an outlier. And even as my way of expressing myself, I don't like talking or anything like that. I know I talk a lot, but I don't like talking in front of crowds. I don't like talking in front of people. My way of expressing how I feel is music. And even though that's still true today, I am much more comfortable being, I shouldn't say an outlier, but being an individual, and not being afraid to talk to people or strangers. My first day of training at Disney, basically, they didn't do this, but they basically said, go help that person. I'm like, you want me to what? You want me to go and help that person? So from the first day of training, I was put outside my comfort zone, and for 9 months or whatever, how long I was there, I was forced to be outside my comfort zone and do that for 9 months. 6 days a week, 50 plus hours a week. So like that's what I got out of it, like personally. Like I made life, like friends that'll last a lifetime, and it was like I got a lot of friends, lots of amazing experiences out of it, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But I think that doing the program changed my personality and changed who I am as a person, because I'm going back to student teaching hopefully this upcoming fall, to get my license in music education. Nice. I can finally teach someone something. But like because of Disney, see. Look, it's Disney. Disney's my screensaver. Because of the college program, I was forced to be more comfortable being myself, being with other people, helping people, being more open, and I think that really helped me like choose to go back to student teaching, which is awesome. And the professor I talked to today, I was like, yeah, this is cool. So that's the why and like what I got out of it. Now, like if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing the program, do it, but also think about what's happening in your life. Like if you're in the middle of college, like most of my friends that I made when I was there, like they were like in the middle of college, they hadn't gotten their degree yet, and I guess you can do that, but it depends on your degree. Like I would never have gone in the middle of my degree, of getting my degree, because I was a music major. All the music classes are on like this class is only offered in the fall every 2 years, and so if my schedule and my like courses weren't lined up to take that class in 2 years, I would have to wait another 2 years after that to take that class. So my entire like outline of courses would have been screwed up, and I would have been in college forever. So if your course load can handle like skipping a semester and you're fine with it, like do it. Like go in the middle of college, make some friends like that aren't at your school. It's a blast. But I would recommend doing what I did and going right after you finish school, because you have loans. I had to start paying my loans back like in the middle of my program, which was fine because I was making bank. But like you have loans, but that's it. You have no other responsibilities besides working at that job at that moment in Disney. So do it, but also think about what is happening in your life at that moment or in that like year, because like once you're there, you're I don't want to say you're stuck there, because like you can self-term for any reason that you want, but I don't want to say like don't self-term, but stick it out, finish it. Like that's what I did. Like there were times where I was like, I don't want to be here anymore, and I was like, I can just quit and go home. I'm like, why? Like I paid to come here. I'm getting paid a lot of money right now a lot of money, like getting paid under Florida's minimum wage is a little stupid. But if you're working a lot, like I worked 40 to 50, maybe 55 hours a week. I think there was 1 week where I worked 60 hours a week, and anything over 8 hours in a day is overtime, and anything over 40 hours in a week is overtime. So I was working 40 to 55 hours a week with 8+ hour days, so I was getting overtime a lot. But then you could also get a role where you are working like QSR, working 32 hours a week and working 5 days a week or something like that, and getting like the bare minimum of what you can make. So like you don't really get to choose your role, and I kind of got lucky with my role. But okay, so that's all like the if you should do it, why, what did I get out of it, like all that stuff. Now is like my personal experience was pretty awesome. Like like I did a lot of cool things in Florida working for Disney that I like to brag about. I no, brag is a bad word. I like to talk about with people because one, it's freaking awesome. Two, I don't want to lose the memories. Like I took thousands of pictures. I have thousands of different things like I have all of that stuff. I got, you can't see, but I have a bunch of stuff like right here that I got, and that will be with me forever, no matter where I go. Like Alexis, if you watch this, I hope you know it's all coming with us to our apartment. So we have to make space for that. I did a lot of cool things working for Disney and living in Florida. There's all sorts, living in Florida, there's all sorts of beaches you can go to. Like within the first week, I had been to Daytona Beach and Clearwater and some state park kayaking and like a manatee like area, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I've done more in these like 3 days since I got to Florida than I have like in my entire I had been to Florida once in my life and I was 6. I don't remember it at all. Like I remember I cut my foot and I hugged Eeyore, but like I had done more in Florida in 3 days than I had in my entire life basically. So like beaches are awesome. Travel if you can, if you go. Like I don't know who this video is going to. This is going to like family, friends that like want to hear about my experience, and to people that like are thinking about doing the college program, or maybe you're just a random person, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're just here for the vibe. Speaking of the vibe, I love this right now. Like this is the vibe room, vibe room number 2. But so there's all the beaches that like I went to. I also went, I forgot what other beach I went to, but I went with my brother and his girlfriend when he came down, when they came down and right after my program started. Man, I forgot. Maybe it was just Daytona. I don't remember. What beaches? My girlfriend and I bought annual passes for Universal. Since like when you work at Disney, you get blocked out of the parks a lot because you get like free entrance, your main gate. We were blocked out a lot, especially this year with like the parks reopening. So I couldn't always go to the parks as much as I wanted to. So it's like, well, why don't I just buy a Universal pass? So we bought Universal annual passes. So we went to Universal whenever we wanted. Got to ride all those crazy rides. Went to a few different like events there, festivals. Mardi Gras is amazing. Also got to ride Velocicoaster. If you have not ridden Velocicoaster, I urge you to go down to Florida as soon as you possibly can and ride Velocicoaster. It changes you as a person. Like, I want you to pause this video if you don't know what it is and look it up on YouTube. Okay, now that you're back, it's pretty cool. Actually, right before Alexis and I left, after like our programs were over, like right before we left, we went to Universal to have like one last day together, and we went at rope drop because like why not? Like can't be at the park all day if you don't start in the morning. So we went and we sprinted towards Velocicoaster, and it was like drizzling, and all the people were like, "Don't go to Velocicoaster; it's not even open." And even the team member was like, "Don't go," and we're like, "Fine." And then we went anyways. We were the first person in the queue, the first 2 people in the queue, and then there's a family of 4, but they couldn't figure out the lockers, so we walked in to the loading area, and it was just us, and we were like, well, we're gonna get front row because like we're the only ones here. We sit down, and then they're like, okay, you guys are all ready, and we're like, there's no one else here. And we're like, nope. And we're like, so Alexis and I, my girlfriend and I, in the rain, rode Velocicoaster in the front row by ourselves, which is different. It, like I said, it changes you as a person. And then when we got back, the guy was like, you guys want to ride again? And we were like, Yeah, we do. We really do. And then we rode again alone. And we're like, okay, we gotta go because Alexis had just had some milk and it was not good. Because going upside down and all that stuff right after you drink like a bottle of milk, not good. Anyways, so like Universal, if you like the Universal pass was like one of the best $400 I spent. Like I know that's a lot of money, but we went like I had to have gone at least 20 times in like the span of like November to like January, and then we came back in March for like our own vacation. We went again twice, and we're like, we're gonna get our money's worth out of this. So Universal was great. The coolest experience like that I got out of this, like the coolest thing that I got to do wasn't just one thing. It was like living the Disney dream. Like we knew when we went down there that we probably weren't going to stay. Like if in the DCP you have the option of extending your program and then you can go full-time or part-time after that, after your program is ended. And we kind of had an idea that we weren't going to stay after that. So we were like, let's just get as much done as we can here. And so like for Christmas we didn't buy each other presents. We bought each other Christmas party tickets for the after hours event for Christmas at Magic Kingdom, which let me just say, $200 was a lot of money. Totally worth it for this event. There was like 3,000 people at the event total, and like this park holds like 100,000 people at max capacity. And seeing it like 8 p.m. till 1 a.m. Magic Kingdom like basically empty to yourself. Like we rode Big Thunder, Mine Train, Big Thunder Mountain. Jeez, it's late. It's like 11 o'clock. So, we rode Big Thunder basically by ourselves. Splash Mountain by ourselves. Space Mountain over and over and over again. No line at all. Food mostly free. Cool fireworks show. I got to see my first Disney parade. Like, cause parades weren't back until like just a few weeks ago. And so seeing like a Christmas parade at like 10 at night in Magic Kingdom, like it's pretty cool. So like that was cool. I got to see the last showing of Happily Ever After. I cried a lot. Like that show like just hits different than Enchantment. So I got to see the last of that. I got to see Enchantment just a few days after it premiered. I got to see the cast member preview for Epcot Forever because that had come back right after my program had started. And so I got to see a cast member preview the night before it opened again. And then I saw the last showing of Epcot Forever. And then they had a special VIP preview thing. It was basically open to the public, but they didn't really announce it, of Harmonious, the Epcot nighttime show with the big barges that everyone says is ugly, but I think it's awesome. I got to see that when I wasn't supposed to. Like I left work early. Like if any of my cords are watching this or my leaders, like I'm not even sorry I got an ER. I asked for an ER that day. Like I was getting out of there. And I stood right in front of the VIP section viewing area where all like the fancy people, like they had like guards in front of that VIP area. And so I saw, who did I see? I saw a bunch of like high up execs for Disney. Saw Bob Chapek. His head is very shiny. Didn't see Iger. I did see Josh. Josh was cool. If you know who Josh is, look, yeah, he's cool. Actually, one of my friends, I think, ran into Josh, like physically, like ran in. I'll have to ask him about that. I want to know more. But so I got to see like the opening for that. But like all those little things of just like being able to say like I watched the premiere of Harmonious, like the first time I had ever been seen by like more than 5 people or like 30 people at once is. I like being able to say, so all those things added up, like made the program what it was for me. Like I felt like I was lucky with my program. Like I got a good role. I worked at Soarin'. It was like it felt like the perfect role for me. Like, that sounds cliche, but it felt like the perfect role. I met all these amazing people, friends. I met celebrities. I saw America's ass. Chris Evans, by the way. um like got all these like amazing experiences that I will never forget. Yes, I miss it a lot, but I also like have to be careful because some people like didn't have good experiences. Like you lived in Disney World, you worked at Disney, you had fun, but it wasn't the same for everyone. Like your program is the program isn't what it used to be. Like you can't pick what roles you want. You don't even get like a say in like what you want. Like they just give it to you randomly, and they say it's by like I don't know how it works. They say it's by like how much need there is for each role, but I'm like, we were short staffed at Soarin' the entire summer and winter, and yet like we weren't getting that many CPs when like quick service in a hotel was getting more people than us. I'm like, I don't understand how they do things. So like, if you're like a college recruiter like that's watching this right now, like there's some feedback for you. Like, yeah. But so that I'm gonna end the video at that because I could go on literally for hours, like I have with my family, and I feel like I bore them, and I don't want to bore whoever's watching this. If you have any questions about the college program or my experience, please comment or like message me or contact me in any way, because one, yes, I want to talk about it, and two, like my whole thing in life is I like to like help people. Like that's why I want to be a teacher. That's why Soren was so cool, because like I got to help people. Like when Soren went down for 2 hours because of some weird like projection issues throughout like everything, for like that was the first time it had gone down like in years. Like I helped people. Like my job at that moment was to stand out front in front of the ride and tell people that we were closed, but also be like, if you need help finding anything, like here's some suggestions. If you're gonna miss if you have a dinner reservation, go to the dinner reservation. Don't wait here. Like I like helping people. So if you have a question about anything Disney related or just about me, like I like talking about myself too. Like I'm not a selfish person usually, but like I want to talk about myself. Like if you want to know more about me, like feel free to comment or ask me any questions. So yeah, that's it. I think that's when I'm gonna end it at.